Good morning. I'm the Reverend Susanna Cates from All Saints Episcopal Church in Scotch Plains, and I'm the chair of the Committee on Resolutions. This year, the Committee on Resolutions received 3 proposed resolutions by the January 15th deadline for submissions and 1 following that deadline. We will go over those proposals for resolutions now. The first resolution is 2021-1. The subject is remembering the September 11th, 2001 World Trade Center victims. Resolved that the 237th Convention of the Diocese of New Jersey reaffirm Resolution 2004-1 of the 220th Convention of the Diocese, and be it further resolved that Episcopalians in the diocese continually pray for all those lost on September 11th, 2001, all others lost at the hand of terrorism, those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the days since the attacks, those who still suffer in body and mind as a result of terrorist attacks, and all those we call peacemakers. And be it further resolved that churches of the diocese on September 11th, 2021, join in observing the 6 moments of silence that mark the loss of life in New York City, Pennsylvania, and the District of Columbia. First, at 8:46 a.m. on September 11th, 2001. Second, at 9:03 a.m. Third, at 9:37 a.m. Fourth, at 9:59 a.m. Fifth, at 10:03 a.m. Sixth, at 10:29 a.m. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of the Convention forward a copy of this resolution to the Executive Council of the Episcopal Church. Further details about this resolution and statements in support of Resolution 2021-1 are found in the final report of the Committee on Resolutions available at this convention. The committee recommends the adoption of this proposal, and it will appear on the consent calendar for adoption. The second resolution is 2021-2. Remembering the victims and survivors of the coronavirus pandemic. Be it resolved that the 237th Convention of the Diocese of New Jersey commend the reading of the names of those parish members lost to COVID on the anniversary date of November 17th, 2021. And be it further resolved that we continually pray for those who have perished and for those who survived, and that God's grace will heal and comfort all those affected and restore them to health, this we pray. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of the Convention forward a copy of this resolution to the Executive Council of the Episcopal Church. This resolution in full and its supporting statements are also available in the final report of the Committee on Resolutions. The committee recommends the adoption of this proposal, and it will appear on the consent calendar. Resolution 2021-3, the Commission on Black Ministry Authorization for Funding Recommendations. Be it resolved that the 237th Convention of the Diocese of New Jersey provide the authority to the Commission on Black Ministry of the Diocese of New Jersey, known henceforth as the COBM, to collaboratively evaluate and provide funding and strategic recommendations for the ministry of the historically Black congregations. And be it further resolved that funds be set aside annually from the Board of Missions, the Mission Renewal Fund, and other diocesan trust funds for the ministry of the historically Black congregations, with the COBM providing critical input on the disbursement of these funds. And be it further resolved that a financial report of these funds be shared annually, and the fund amount be periodically evaluated and adjusted as needed. And be it further resolved that the COBM's decision-making role be publicly communicated by the diocese to these congregations. Supporting statements and further information about Resolution 2021-3 is also available in the final report on the Committee on Resolutions. The committee recommends the adoption of this proposal, and it will appear on the consent calendar. The following and final proposal was submitted to the committee after the January 15th, 2021 deadline set by Rule 8 of the Rules of Order. It may come before a convention only upon a 2/3 prior consent for consideration For that reason, it is not included in this year's consent calendar. Resolution 2021-4. The subject is Recognizing Indigenous Peoples Day. Be it resolved that the 237th Convention of the Diocese of New Jersey recognize and acknowledge that Christopher Columbus, a man who is known for having discovered the Americas, came upon land that was already inhabited by indigenous peoples, and Columbus's voyage to the Americas opened the door to crimes, including but not limited to the introduction of transatlantic slavery and genocidal acts against indigenous people, and indigenous peoples were promised security and protection, but instead were forcibly relocated and their land seized to allow for European settlements. And the territory of the Diocese of New Jersey was historically inhabited by the Lenape people. And the idea of Indigenous Peoples Day was first proposed in 1977 by a delegation of Native nations to the United Nations, and the Diocese of New Jersey recognizes and acknowledges the significant contributions made in our community by Indigenous peoples and commits to ensure greater access and opportunity for continued contribution. And the Diocese of New Jersey has the opportunity and means to cultivate a community that honors and respects the diverse history of our community. And the second Monday in October should be recognized for the original inhabitants of the Americas, indigenous peoples. And be it further resolved that the Diocese of New Jersey join communities across America in recognizing and promoting the well-being and understanding of the contributions of indigenous communities by the annual recognition of Indigenous Peoples Day, commencing Monday, October 11th, 2021. Further information and supporting statements are available in the final report of the Committee on Resolutions. As earlier stated, the committee recommends the adoption of this proposal, but it must first receive a 2/3 vote required for that consideration by the Diocesan Convention and will not appear on the consent calendar. This concludes the report for the Committee on Resolutions. Thank you.